What's going on, everybody? In today's video, we're going to talk about, is it over, or are we just beginning for the altcoin market? So if you guys like today's video, make sure you guys smack the like button. We got a video today because there's not too much going on in the market, so I'm going to make a few videos tonight. So smash the like button if you enjoy, but let's not waste any time and kind of jump on in today. So what I want to talk about today is, kind of just the mixture of the market right now. So there's a lot of things going on, right? We got Bitcoin that's kind of just holding around 100K, holding in, and it's kind of range locked between, 110,000 and 90,000. And we've seen that really since November. We got some of the altcoin market that is, holding up pretty good throughout this, right? XRP, Chainlink, right? HBAR. You got some coins that are holding up really, really good throughout this market. And then you kind of look around and you got some of these coins, altcoins, back down at range lows. So there's just so many different things happening in the market right now. And I think it's making everyone confused. Bitcoin's strong. You got some altcoins that are holding up strong throughout this pullback. And then you got some coins that are just getting absolutely pounced and some coins that are making new cycle lows. What the heck is going on, right? So that's what we're going to discuss today throughout a lot of detail. So let's not waste any time and jump on in. So let's start with Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, we've done a pretty good job calling Bitcoin this cycle. If you've been bullish on Bitcoin the whole time, you've done pretty freaking good. The question I have for Bitcoin, and it all starts with Bitcoin, is it over for Bitcoin, right? We know it's not just the beginning for Bitcoin, right? But is it over for Bitcoin? Now, there's certain different ways you can look at this, right? Is the top in? Is the top not in? You make a case for whatever one you want to do. I'm just going to show you the data today. I'm not going to show you my opinion. I'm just going to show you what's happened in the past, and we kind of go from there, all right? So obviously where we are right now in the context of things, right, we're in the post-election year. Now we know typically, if we just look at the previous cycles, the post-election year is typically the most explosive year for Bitcoin and altcoins, right? So if we kind of look at seasonality as far as where the year that we're in the cycle, we should have a green year this year, right? So just in the context of where we are in the cycle, you guys can see that we are currently right here. And this is matching the 4-year cycle from the lows, right? We've pretty much tracked it throughout the 4-year period, all right? So we're going to start with the discussion on Bitcoin because we know that the whole market is going to do typically what Bitcoin does, right? Especially in the post-election year. So right where we are with Bitcoin is we are currently right here, all right? Matched from the lows. And you can see throughout the cycle, we followed it almost to a T, some deviations, but we've been pretty consistent this cycle of just staying where we should be and not deviating too much. Sometimes we get higher, sometimes we get lower, but we've pretty much stayed throughout the cycle about where we should be, all right? And we're almost following exactly the 2017 cycle to a T. So here's the question of where we are now, okay? And right where we are now kind of reminds me of back where we were back over here in September and October, where we kind of had to make a decision, right? Bitcoin was either going to continue to follow the 2017 cycle and the 2020 cycle, or it was going to start coming down and continuing down and fall behind, right? So you can see where we are now. We've fallen behind the 2020 cycle, which makes sense, right? You had money printing, probably unlikely you're going to keep up with that 2020 cycle. But if you see where we are now, we're right where we were in 2017 around this time of the cycle. So the question remains, do you think Bitcoin is about to fall behind the 2 previous cycles, which would be normal, right? Diminished returns would be totally normal. Or do you think that Bitcoin is about to follow and continue to follow the 2017 and 2020 cycle? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. Now, has the 4-year cycle been validated to this point? Absolutely not. It's been exactly accurate. And I've been guilty of maybe thinking something different's going to happen, and it didn't happen, right? So that remains the question of where is Bitcoin in the cycle? If we look at where Bitcoin is in the cycle, we should think that Bitcoin is going to have a green 2025, despite the short-term volatility, all right? Now, if we just go over and look at the short term for Bitcoin, and this is all going to lead to where we are in the altcoin market, all right? If we go look at where Bitcoin is, we're above the bull market support band. My question is for Bitcoin right now, and a lot of people have this question, is we were kind of following last year to a T, right? So if we actually take last year and we kind of take this price action to this price action, we were following it almost to a T, right? We had this big pump up early in the year. We went sideways during the summertime. We came up again. We went sideways for a few months up here. And then we had this final impulse before having another summer period, right? So my question is, are we still doing this right now? Okay. Are we still doing this for Bitcoin right now, where Bitcoin is about to get an explosive move to the upside within the next few weeks? That's the question I have. Now, we've kind of done something a little bit different, right? Last year, we swept the lows and then we just absolutely went nuts and just cruised up. Right now, we're kind of getting a little bit of resistance, right? We swept the lows, exactly what we did last year. We came up, made a new high, then we rejected, and now we've fallen back below the mid-range. So the question is, and I guess I've been kind of looking at this, and I don't think it really matters from a holder's perspective. I think if you're a bull on Bitcoin, I don't think it really matters too much right now whether we dip a little bit lower or not after falling below the mid-range. But the way I'm looking at it is, I kind of look back at Bitcoin this cycle and previous cycles, and what I noticed was almost every single pullback for Bitcoin did come back down to the bull market support band, right? If you just look at this cycle, all the pullbacks that we had once we got back above the bull market support band, which that was the key of the bull, right? We got back above that. We were bullish on BTC. Every pullback has pretty much come at least back to the bull market support band or below the bull market support band. Okay? Every single one, right? Back below, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The only one that didn't, and this is where it gets a little bit confusing for the short term, is last year of the fractal we were just looking at, where we front ran the bull market support band right there and we pushed up, right? And so far, if we look at this consolidation, so far, we front ran the bull market support band and tried to move up, but we failed. The question is, do we have to go sideways long enough here for the bull market support band to get up here, right? Maybe we chop around in here for a little bit longer. Or do we have to come down and sweep the lows again into this mid 80K region where we come back up? That's the question I have right now for Bitcoin, and this is going to have implications for the altcoin market, right? As obviously, Bitcoin sweeps down here again, altcoins probably get a little bit decimated again, right? So that's where I don't really know about the short term. Let's see what happens, but I really think we're at a good spot for Bitcoin. It's really not Bitcoin that I'm worried about. Even if we do sweep the lows again into the mid 80Ks, that would be completely bullish, right? Completely bullish into the bull market support band, maybe even slightly below. It is what it is. Or we go sideways and let this catch up, right? The question I have right now is, the altcoin market is very confusing right now, okay? Very, very confusing. And the way I'm looking at the altcoin market right now, and we're just going to look at it from the cycles perspective, is this is the first time in any cycle where January and February, at least we're only 6 days into February, but so far February is not the greatest, right? It's not. We can be honest with ourselves. Sorry, guys. This is the first cycle where January and February, the post-election year, were not super bullish, right? 2021, January and February were freaking monsterish. 2017, January and February were freaking monstrous. So far, you can see we came down, right? And what I did just to illustrate the difference of what's going on right now and why this is so weird, and maybe it's not weird to you, but it is to me, overlay the 2021 cycle. We kind of been following it, right? Bear market 1 year, accumulation phase, we pushed up, we've been above and below. Obviously, altcoins are going to be volatile. We've kind of been doing the opposite, right? We moved up here, we moved down here. We moved up here, moved down here, right? Kind of both pulled back at the same time, moved up, right? But here we kind of are right now. And this is where it gets interesting because we're starting to deviate from the previous cycles right now. where typically, we've talked about this many, many times, January to May have been bullish for altcoins in previous cycles of the post-election year. But right now, we're seeing the complete opposite. Right? We're seeing the complete opposite. Does that mean it's over? Right? Is it over for Bitcoin? Does that mean it's over for the altcoin market? Well, this is where you got to put a couple things into perspective, right? And I've been poking around some of these altcoin charts and total market cap charts, which I'm about to show you right now, and maybe that can give us a little bit of a clue. All right, is it over, or is it maybe not just getting started, but the almost beginning phase for the altcoin market? And I'll show you what I mean. All right, so total market cap. It's not the beginning for total market cap or Bitcoin, right? Or even some altcoins. But total market cap right now, if you look, is retesting the previous all-time high, right? And we've talked about that. This has only happened one time in history for Bitcoin, where you've had a previous cycle all-time high retest. Right here, right? 2021, we have now come back down and we just dipped into there. And right now we are attempting to hold that region. All right. So right now, here's kind of my invalidation. And here's the way I'm going to look at this market right now, guys. Let me fix the camera real quick so you guys can see my beautiful face. That would be nice. But here's the way I'm looking at the market right now. As long as we hold above this region, I remain a bull. I have to remain a bull. And that might mean maybe altcoins bleed a little bit against Bitcoin and Bitcoin holds. So total market cap holds above these highs. That could still mean that altcoins bleed a little bit. But as long as we hold this region, and I should probably just mark it off with a green box. As long as we hold this region as a back test of support, and we don't start dipping back below our major highs, I'm just looking at this as a back test. And I remain a bull as long as we stay above this green box as a retest. The only time we did that for total market cap in the past was right over here in 2017. 2017 top was right there. You can see. We came back down and retested it. Actually, we came back down and retested it right here in 2021. Very interestingly, right here, I honestly didn't even see this earlier, but you did. You came back down and retested this in 2021 in January, just like we just did in January. Right? You had this pullback right here in total, right into the previous all-time high. If you look at what we're doing now, pullback into the previous all-time high. Could we be right here in the cycle? Right? Which would make sense because we're in February, and this would be February right here. We also retested it right there. It also held as support. So the two previous times we've actually retested the previous all-time highs. We did not do it down here in this cycle, by the way. We didn't do it down here. But the two previous times we did it, we held. All right? So this is kind of my invalidation point. Hold above here. We can even dip into there again. And it would be max fear into there. Right? Ambabula. We start dipping back below here. A little bit sketch. A little bit sketch in my personal opinion. All right? So that's the way I'm looking at total market cap. And the reason why I'm looking at it like this, because I was poking around a lot of these altcoin charts, and sometimes what I do, and it probably is probably not a good thing, but I look at some of these altcoin charts, man, and man, you got some of these coins at levels where we've seen some of the biggest bounces. And I kind of ask myself, is this time going to be different? Are we going to see altcoins, some of these altcoins, right? Not all of them look like this. There's some really strong altcoins out there. But are we going to see some of these really weak altcoins make new cycle lows while Bitcoin is close to $100,000? Matic, back at cycle lows, not seen since October 2024, June 2022, March 2021. All lower highs. Will it break into new cycle lows? Or will it hold again? That's the question that I have right now, right? And it's not just Matic. There are many others that are in the same situation right now. Probably can find a few. We already got some coins breaking into new lows. DYDX, right? Ethereum Classic. Back down to these trend lines, right? Major cycle low trend lines. Filecoin. All right, back down to these closed lows. All right, there's many coins all the way back down to their bear market lows. All right, I'm not gonna go find them all, but you guys get the point, right? Cadena, back down to cycle lows, right? Many coins throughout this period back down to cycle lows. And you can see they're all at major levels. So the question I have is, do they see another bounce from this region here, right? Cadena saw a 418% bounce. Here, Cadena saw a 455% bounce. Are we about to see altcoins? Not right away. We probably fill these wicks and continue to fill these daily wicks that we just put in. Do we see these altcoins put in another 400% gain from that same point where we've seen it before? Or is this time different? And we're about to see these nuke into new lows. That's the question I'm asking myself right now. And why this is such an interesting point in the market right now is seasonality. We're in the point where altcoins should already be going up, but they're not. Total market cap is retesting the highs. Many altcoins at bear market lows. But yet I look around the market and I see coins like XRP holding. Chainlink holding really good. HBAR holding really good. Why are these coins holding really good, but yet some altcoins, another example, Polkadot, bear market lows. Why are some altcoins holding up really good while other altcoins are getting obliterated 75, 80% in a couple weeks? That's the question I need to find out. And I don't know, right? But I know that I've seen Polkadot get a 238% gain from that level. A 220% gain from that level. Are you about to see again, these altcoins that are struggling just stay in range, another 200% gain for DOT? While these other coins that are performing well, like Chainlink, make new cycle highs. While you just saw some coins make new cycle lows. XRP. Are we about to see XRP make new cycle highs as other coins are still at cycle lows? Why is this? Are we seeing before our eyes the utility coin movement? The good coins holding up the best. The coins that people are speculating on being used possibly holding up the best, while all the other coins melt away. Meme coins. Look at WIF. Look at Popcat.
Bruh.
Right? This is stupid shit capitulation. But I see in some stuff hold up well. The question I have is why? And we'll find out. But this goes back, and we're getting like 20 minutes into this video, so well, this goes back to my final question. Is it over, or is it just beginning, guys? Well, no one knows. And that's what makes it crypto. Because if everyone knew, it would be easy, right? The thing I have to follow, and I'm going to continue to follow, is the 4-year cycle. Is it the beginning for Bitcoin? Absolutely not, right? Bitcoin's at $100,000. It was at $15,000 2 years ago, right? Is it the beginning for Bitcoin? No. But I look around at some of these altcoins, and I'm not saying buy these. I'm not saying these are 100% going to bounce from here, and they could just nuke to new lows. But could it just be just the beginning for some of these altcoins? Absolutely. It absolutely could. So that's the video today, guys. We went over Bitcoin, where we are. Maybe we have to go sideways or slightly more down to backtest the bull market support band for Bitcoin again. But pay attention to where we are in the cycle. We're exactly where we should be. Total market cap, backtesting the previous all-time. As long as we hold this, I am a bull. We break below this, something's different. Something has changed. Altcoins. Right now, we're deviating from what we normally do in the cycle. The question is why? No QE? Because we have quantitative tightening? Because Trump launched a meme coin and sucked the liquidity out of everything? The question is, why are we doing something different right now? And will it change? And will we catch back up like we did here? We caught back up. Like we did here. We caught back up. Will we catch back up? That's the question. And it's going to be freaking fun to find out. All right. So that's today's video. If you guys did like this video, make sure you guys smack this like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'll let you know if I'm going to live stream tomorrow or not. If there's something different going on in the market, I'll hop on for a live stream. But, you know, sometimes it is nice to come on, just make a video, and I can just explain my thoughts in a little tight period and not be distracted by the chat going nuts. All right. So appreciate you guys. Leave a comment what you think in the comment section. Is it the beginning or is it the end? Most likely it's just somewhere in the middle. All right. Catch you guys later. Peace.